Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I'm here for your weekly simple and stepped up stamping. We start with the basics every Thursday. We start with stamps, ink, and paper, and we make something super cute, and then we step it up a little bit and see the difference and whether we like one over the other. I will tell you, most of us avid crafters tend to like the stepped up version better. However, it's good to see what you can do with just the basics of stamps, ink, and paper. Hi, Melissa. It's also really good to help our newer stampers see what they can do with just a few things. And even when we do our stepped up, we're typically just stepping up with a couple of little elements, maybe a little bit of embellishment or something like that. So, hey Barb and Susan, I'm glad you're here with me live. As promised, it is another spooky session here for simple and stepped up stamping. I forgot to put on my little black cat earrings, but anyway, I was wanting to do something for Halloween because we do have a small window of time for our Halloween treats. And if you're wanting to do something handmade for Halloween, you know, we're in the third week of September and it's time to really kind of get cranking these things out. So I'm gonna go old school and we're gonna do something fun today. So let me bring the camera down and we will get started. Okay, so hopefully I am in range of the camera. Yay. Yep, I'm right side up and everything. Okay, let me come down a wee bit. This is the stamp set that I'm going to be using today. And this is, I think, a little bit of a sleeper stamp set in our holiday or mini catalog. And I say that because it honestly has a lot to recommend it, but I haven't seen much done with it. Now, I just gave myself a big shadow, and I'm trying to make things a little bit clearer, and I'm actually muddying the waters. I've been playing with my lighting a little bit here, so be patient with me for just a minute while I try to get, I think that's a little bit better. I like this because it has all of the fall and winter holidays in the sense that you have Halloween, you have Thanksgiving, and then you also have Christmas. But then you also have a thank you. And so you can give thanks for all of these things. And even like with Halloween, you have trick or treat plus ghoulish delights, plus the little bats at night. Well, bats come out at night. And then for Christmas, you have the Merry Christmas and the Ho Ho Ho. And then you have a little Christmas bulb, and you have some kind of, I think this is supposed to be like a mistletoe, kind of a festive greenery. Oh, I forgot, you even have a birthday wishes. I mean, there you go. And a party hat. So really, this is kind of an all occasion plus several holidays. A thank you, which you can use any time of year. And then thank you plus the fall leaves, plus you're such a blessing. This is kind of our fall Thanksgiving-y kind of vibe going there. So hi Marcia, I'm glad you're here with me, and Melissa and Susan. So you can see even the way that this is portrayed in the mini catalog, it's even showing you that you can go simple and then you can step it up a little bit and then you can step it up a little bit more. So I think this is simplify or step up, the choice is yours. This stamp set is really, they're kind of showcasing my methodology that I do on Thursdays here. So let me show you the other major thing that I'm going to be using today, and that is something I use here a lot, but I thought it bore showing you in the catalog, and that is on our tools and cutting page, which is page 151 of the big book. And this is our paper trimmer. You know, I don't know why. I always want to think this is $30. It's only $25. It's probably the best $25 you will spend in the catalog. So this is what I'm going to be using today. And I'm going old school because I'm going to show you a project that I learned when I first started stamping. And it's called a bagalope. And I got inspired because I saw somebody else doing one of these recently. I think it was Artisan Design Team was doing something with this recently. And so I am using a Stampin' Up! Envelope, and I'll tell you why. Yes, you can use just like a regular business envelope, but I'm going to stamp on this. And our envelopes are really designed to hold ink just like our paper. So when you stamp on these, it's going to come out different than if you're stamping on like an Office Depot kind of an envelope or a Walmart envelope or whatever. So I do think that that bears mentioning. Now I need to seal these, and I'm going to show you another little trick of mine, and that is I am wearing lipstick. And if I try to seal this with my mouth, I'm going to end up getting lipstick on it. So I'm just going to take my little scrub here, my little chamois, and one of the things I like to keep in my toolkit is one of these little spritzers, and I keep just water in it because sometimes the edges of your chamois will get a little bit dry, and my water is handy. I don't have to go in the other room. I don't have to go to a sink. It's right there. Now, that's sealed and ready to go. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And I have 2 basic white envelopes. You could also do this with very vanilla, but I do think I'm doing a Halloween one, and I want the crispness of the contrast of the basic white with the colors that I'm going to be using, particularly the black. Now, I'm going to do these at the same time, and then we're going to decorate them a little bit differently, and that's where the simple and stepped up is going to come in. Now, the reason I'm using this is because I need to cut off one end because I'm going to make this into a bag. It's called a bag elope because you take an envelope and you make it into a bag. I'm just going to lop off one little end. Just take a tiny bit off because that's going to allow me to create a little bag here, as you can see. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. And then you can create, when you're doing your bag elope, you can make it... your dimensions can vary according to what you're wanting to produce. I'm going to be scoring at 1/2 inch. The important thing is that you score on all 3 sides that are not the open side. And I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, knowing that 1/2 inch on either side when I bring it together is going to be 1 inch. It's going to be like taking 1 inch off my bag, making that into the gusset and into the bottom of the bag. And so just 1/2 inch is going to be perfect. I could do 3/4 inch, and then I would have 1.5 inch gussets. If I went to a whole inch, 2 inch gussets, that would be a little bit much for me. So kind of depends on the size of finished treat bag that you're wanting, which also depends a little bit on the size of your envelope. Okay, here we go. And then one more here. Hey, Dudley, I'm glad you're here. So is it still morning in Alaska? You know, I don't even know what time zone you're in. I engage with you quite a bit, but I didn't realize what time zone you're in. My husband and I were at a memorial service at the weekend with his cousins who had come down from Anchorage. So yeah, we have some family in Alaska. Now I'm going to take all of my score lines and I'm going to crease them really, really well because this is going to form the sides and the bottom of my bags because you need that to be really, really sharp. So it just takes just a minute, and this is where your bone folder really comes in handy, and where you want to press really hard and get a super sharp crease. And now I'm going to do the bottom as well, and it's easier if you start where it's not where the envelope is not coming together, as it were. Easier to start there and then fold up like so. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on this side again. Anybody who's coming in a little bit late, we are making a bagalope. We are going old school. Hey, Valerie, we are making a bagalope for Halloween. Now, before I go any farther, I've got my sides and the bottom of my bag created. Before I go any farther, I'm going to start doing my stamping. Because once I put my bag together, it'd be very difficult to stamp on an actual bag. So we're going to get all of this done, and that's going to kind of help us know where things are. Now this is obviously the back of my bag where the little seal part of the envelope is. So let's start here, and I do need a piercing mat or a foam mat underneath me, and I'm going to use the bat stamp. This is super, super cute. Let me go this way so you'll be right side up. I'm just using the little bat stamp. Again, I'm using the Little Delights stamp set. This is a great stamp set for beginners, a great stamp set for just to have a stamp set that covers all the holidays, all the winter, fall and winter holidays, plus birthday. I mean, you get a lot from this. Okay, now let me move this. Okay, Candy, you get too many things going here. Let's come back here with this, and let's go. What I like about these bats is they're already in flight, and so look how nice and crisp that comes out. And they're already kind of set where you can do a little, I can make them kind of going in a little pattern across here, and it's super easy and very natural. So that's what I'm going to do on both of my bagalopes. I'm going to do a little bit of bat action here. And I am going on one of these. Let's try this. Let's try a little bit of, let's stamp our trick or treat right down here. These would be super cute bags to hand out to the trick-or-treaters in your neighborhood. If you have trick-or-treaters in your neighborhood, if you don't, these would be super cute to take to a nursing home, be super cute to take to a group of children. You know, I think Halloween brings out the kid in all of us. So there we go, trick or treat. Now, let's do it like this for now. I think that's all the stamping we're going to do on the actual bag. So let's put the bag together and see how we come out. What I'm going to do first is something that I've learned over the years is I want this to be down really well. So I'm just going to go, I don't want that flying up on me. So you could also do this with a glue dot. I just want to make sure that those ends, because you know, it's not gummed all the way to the edge, and I kind of need it gummed all the way to the edge. Okay. So now I'm going to open my bag. Just put your hand down inside there. And I'm going to fold right along here, and you can see where there's the gussets. There's the sides of my bag. Boom, done. And here it is on this side. And again, this is just a basic white envelope. They used to be called Whisper White. Now they're called Basic White. And that was because we had to change suppliers. Our supplier from many, many years of doing our Whisper White, their company just did not make it through COVID. And I know we placed large orders with them, but you know, typically these paper companies, they have several people who place large orders, and somehow, or maybe they couldn't get maybe they couldn't get supplies. I don't know, but I know that they are no longer supplying for us. Okay, let me grab this. I'm going to use a mini glue dot. I do find the easiest way to fold down this little edge here, just to put a mini glue dot there. See that? Put that there, and then press. And you want to just put your hand in there, and that's going to press it down. And it's just making like almost like a little, you know, like a little mini lunch sack or a little mini grocery bag. And this is just a really nice size. Again, you could do this with any envelope, but I do like our envelopes for the way that they stamp so nicely. Look how crisp my ink is. And I also like the fact that it's actually just a really nice size. So there is my bag. Now let's do a little something. You could just punch some holes here and put some ribbon in the top. But this first one, I'm going to keep really, really simple. So what I'm going to do is create a little topper like we had done before with another bag we were making. So the width across here is right at 3.5. So I had some of this cardstock. These are offcuts from another project, and they just happened to be in my scrap bin, and that's kind of what I'm using for all of my stepping up or even just kind of finishing off. So I'm going to cut two of these at 3.5. And then I'm going to check the width. I'm not totally sure what the width is, but let's just see. This is 2.5. So let's score these at 1.25. And then I will be able to fold that over and make a little topper for my bag. And again, this is called a bagalope. One of the things I made when I first started stamping. And when I first started stamping, it was back when we had the wheels, and we would use the wheels. And totally, did I do that right? 1.25, yeah, okay, that's right. We would wheel the ink onto these bagalopes. And boy, that was a quick way to create something. Now, one other thing I'm going to do here is I happen to also have some little black offcuts. Again, I just kind of grabbing out of my scrap bag, and I'm just going to tear this. And you know, when you're doing this, I call it a controlled tear because you're not just like ripping it. And oh, Terry Lynn, I'm so glad you're here. We don't mind you being late at all. So we're just doing a little controlled tear. And now I am going to run this here. What happened? Here we go. Come on, where are you? There we go. Whoopsie. Ay, ay, ay. Why that is, I think, again, I'm being a little heavy-handed, so I need to relax a bit. I am going to just pop that on like so to give a nice little finished edge. Again, this is just cardstock. This is scraps of pumpkin pie and scraps of basic black cardstock. That's all I'm using, just little scraps. Little offcuts that I happen to have in my what do you call it? In my scrap bag. Now, this is going to help me to have them at about the same width. Not a biggie, but just a little detail. And then I'm going to grab my snips, and I just need to bring that into line there. I could also do that on my paper trimmer, but you know, that's quicker and easier. Now, somewhere in here I have my trusty stapler. So let's bring this in. Move some of these things out of the way. You can see what we're doing here. Okay, let's throw our trash away. Now here's the top of my little bagalope. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to squeeze it down, and I'm going to bring this over the top, and look how that just vamped that up considerably. So now I can take my stapler and I can just put one staple in the middle, and that is going to give it a little bit of stability and closing it. And then last but not least, what I'm going to do, again, I'm using Just Stamps ink and paper. I have another offcut. I don't save these little 1/2-inch pieces on any other color except white and maybe some black, because I just find that I won't use that thin a strip for most colors. But yeah, when it comes to white, a lot of times you have just a little greeting. And this is one of those times. So let me find... There is a little one here, and it says Ghoulish Delights. And I think that is going to look super cute right up here at the top. So let's do a little bit of stamping right like so. Ghoulish delights, indeed. And I'm just going to snip the end, and that is going to very nicely hide my staple, but also add an extra little bit, and I think I'm just going to bring it over here to the edge. I think it looks cuter than when it's in the middle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very quick and easy bagalope, going very old school Stampin' Up, something that I learned when I first started stamping, even before I became a demonstrator. I stamped for a couple of years before I became a demonstrator. And then I was like, okay, I need to do this more. I need to have more purpose and direction in my stamping. And I think that I'm ready to jump in and do something else with this. So that is my simple bagalope. Stamps, ink, and paper. Perfect for treats made with just a Stampin' Up envelope. Now let's go with one more and let's see if we can step it up a little bit more. So I purposely did not stamp my trick or treat on there because I'm going to try to stamp it onto some colored cardstock and see how it looks. So here are my gussets. Once again, I'm just fanning these out. And you can see how when you start bringing in that gusset, very strongly right-handed, your little corner will automatically kind of go like so. Okay, so here we go with a side gusset here and a side gusset here. Let's grab these little corners and bring it in like so, and bring it in like so. Let me get a mini glue dot right here. We are trucking along with this project. Even with, you know, kind of explaining it, it's coming together very quickly. So that kind of shows you how fast you can make these. And I am going, once I get both of the mini glue dots on here, I am going to just give it another little press on the inside just to make sure that my adhesive is really adhering well. Right, like so. And there we go. So there is my little bag. Now let's see what happens if we put Trick or Treat on a little piece of colored cardstock. Oh, you know what? I was going to do one more thing and I totally forgot. Ay. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see. I think we can do it. I wanted to add some color. Ay. I wanted to add some color like this. This is how I wanted to step it up. I got carried away with doing other stuff. Let's see. Got carried away with putting the bag together and forgot to do you have to do all the stamping before you put it together for best results. So let's see what happens. I'm going to try to grab some gorgeous grape ink and see if we can't just step this baby up a little bit. Oh yeah, it's doing just exactly what I wanted it to. Because I wanted these bats to be in a night sky, and that is coming together ever so quickly and actually even gives me a little bit of color on the side, which is not a bad thing. So there we go. We are stepping up with a little bit of purple ink. Whoopsie. Now let's try. Oh. Hopefully I'm still on because my computer is shutting down. Hopefully that's not shutting down from, you know, I was trying to run updates before I came on, and my my computer, oh yeah, it's shutting down and starting over again. Okay, let's see if we can do a little bit of, let's see if this will go on a punch. Oh yeah, look at there. That is going to fit ever so nicely, but I need to make it more in the center. So let's give this a try and see how we can do this. And again, I pulled some scraps out of my scrap bin just in the colors that I wanted, hoping that, well, I knew we would make something with them. I wasn't exactly sure what we would make, but I knew we could make something. I pressed a little bit hard with that, but that's okay. Let me grab a Post-it note. Anytime you have a small scrap like this and you're trying to put it into a punch, yeah, save the frustration and make yourself a little handle. And then that is going to get centered right in there. And I think that is going to look really cute. Trick or treat, indeed. No. Let's try it in orange. I think it needs a little contrast there. But I'm not totally sure I like that punch there. Let's see what else we can come up with. This might be cute. Let's try another punch and see how we get on. And it may be that that's just not going to even be a good idea. It may just be too much because this little bagalope is fairly small. And so I don't want to have too much. Now you see that right there? That's going to be dangerous because I have a little white bag. So this is where my little trusty alcohol pad is going to come in. Very handy. I will tell you, if you have any little cuts on your hands, you will find that out very quickly because your alcohol pad will cause that to really, really scream at you. Okay, let's put that away. My computer is starting over again, so I'm hoping that you're still with me, and I'm hoping that I'm in camera range, but I think I haven't moved too much, so we should be okay. Okay, let's see. That's pretty big. Let's see if I have something smaller. I wanted something a little bit smaller. Let's see. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull on a circle punch. Oh, look at there. That's a 1.5 inch circle punch. I don't even know if we still have this circle punch. We have loads of circle dies, but I can tell you that when we get rid of our circle punches, I keep them all because I use the heck out of them. Now let's see. I like that a lot better. Maybe that's better where it's not kind of infringing on where my little bats are flying in the night sky. There is okay. That's better. That is still grabbing cardstock. Okay. There and there. Now let's put our little topper on again. I have one already made somewhere. Let's see if maybe we can find it. Here we go. No, that's the scrap. There we go. So let's once again do a little controlled tear on 2 pieces. These are just black scraps. I'm thinking you probably have a few as well. There we go. So I don't know about you guys, but we had an amazing cool morning today. Got up this morning and it was 50 degrees, which is, that is shouting hallelujah kind of weather in San Antonio. So we were pretty excited about that. We had the windows open this morning. It was absolutely delightful. Now, when you do this, this controlled tear, you'll see that one side is pretty smooth and the other side is rugged and rough. I want that rough. That's what I really want. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one out. And I want the rough out again. So I'm going to do it like so. And that way, when I bring it together, it's lined up. And let's just trim these at the same time. And that will make life even simpler and quicker. And I am always in favor of that. Okay, now let's get rid of this. I didn't like that tag. It was just not the right shape. And I think maybe it was just a little bit too big. But I do kind of like that little addition of a color of contrast. A color of cardstock. Oh, I'm spitting. Lord have mercy. Spitting when I'm talking. Anybody else do that? Okay, let's go ahead now and pop that down like so. I'm liking it. And then let's bring this in like so. We're adding just a single staple. Now, I've got a couple of things I could do. I have some bows that were created for another project. I could put a bow there and just cover the staple like that. And I kind of like that. The other thing I could do is I could put a little piece of purple cardstock there and do my little strip of Ghoulish Delights. So let's give that a try as well. Again, my computer is still turning back on from updates, so I have no idea if anybody's giving me any design inspiration. Something I always rely on with you guys. I knew I was being a little bit daring when my computer said to run updates, and it was like, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes ago, hour and a half ago, and I thought, oh yeah, that'll be plenty of time. Yeah, I don't think it was. Okay, let's try the Ghoulish Delights and see where we get. I don't need the bats anymore. I don't need Trick or Treat. Let's clear the decks here a little bit. Don't need my brush. Voila, there's Ghoulish Delights. Let's bring this in like so. And let's see if maybe bringing in a little bit of that purple might be, oh, I think I might like that. I think I like that bit purple. Let's see what everybody else is going to say. And I'm just going to actually flag this one. And I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, and that is by just trimming to the center. Woohoo! I did pretty good. You know, I always do my punch because I don't typically like the flags I make. Am I spitting on that again? I think I did. It'll be okay. So I do like that addition of the purple there. I like it a lot. Now, I think it looks pretty cute. We're still at Stamp, Ink, and Paper. We haven't even, I mean, for simple and stepped up, the only thing I did was I added a circle punch here. I added some extra cardstock here, and I did add some extra ink with my blending brush. Now, in thinking about one more way I could step this up, I think this bow is way too big. Way too big. Let's see if I bring it down. Maybe it would be useful. Let's see. Let's give it a try. I love this. It's almost like it's wired. This ribbon. It's actually not wired, but it has so much. Like it's almost like modeling clay. You can just kind of manipulate it, and it does all kinds of things. That now I could do that. I think it might be a little bit much. So again, I'm waiting for my computer to finish turning back on so I can see what you're saying. The other thing I thought was, you know, here's my favorite holiday rhinestones. And I thought, you know, these, I think technically these are crushed curry. But I thought they might just add a nice little bit of shine because they're an orangey yellow. Oopsie. I need to make sure that's on straight. And that would give me just a little bit of shine without being too fussy. I think that's better. I think the bow is just too much because, again, this is a fairly small area that we're using here. Let's bring that up here. So there's our simple, and there's our stepped up bagalopes. These are actually the same size envelope. I think that what happened here, I did not, I put the top a little bit above, because I didn't want to get too far down on the Trick or Treat. This one I brought all the way to the edge of the envelope. So that kind of also tells you that when you're filling it with treats, depending on how tall or short your treats are, you can actually get an extra like inch of height out of there if you need to. So that is what I have for you today. Simple and stepped up Bagalope, a Halloween treat bag. Now, you can obviously make this for any season, particularly with this phenomenal stamp set. I believe it's $17. Little Delights. And this is a little delight indeed. You could put all sorts of little cute things in here. You could put little nuts in here. You could put candy corn. You could put a little mini candy bar in here. So many little treats that you could put in here. And if you have somebody that you're wanting to give something a little bit more stepped up, you could do like a little bracelet in there. You could put some nail polish, if you're wanting to give like a girly gift. Super cute. So I am really, really happy with my Bagalopes, and I cannot see any comments. So I'm going to bring you back up where I can hopefully see what you are saying. And I hope you have enjoyed my simple and stepped up Bagalopes today. Super cute, super simple little treat bags made with a single Stampin' Up envelope. So let me just, oopsie, that's not going to work. I will have to read your comments and engage with you after I turn this off, because I think as soon as I go up there, it's going to put my finger all over there. So that is it for today. Simple and stepped up stamping with little treats. And my hope is that this will empower you to make simple and stepped up little treat bags that you can use for a host of things. So thank you. I'm glad you guys like this. And again, if you didn't want to put the little topper on it, you could put little ribbon handles. But I do think it's kind of nice to have it all sealed up, and then you're not worried about it tipping over and things falling out. It's a nice size, and again, you can make your gussets a little bit bigger, and then it would mean this part of your bag would be a little bit narrower. So you can kind of do a little bit of customization on it. And you can also just use a business envelope. But using our Stampin' Up envelopes is going to make sure that your stamping part comes out really pretty, and that you get that good saturation of ink. So that is it for today. I will be here Tuesday for Teach Me Tuesday. Remember, we are in the last 7 days of celebration. So if you have not gotten all of the celebration items you want to make sure that you do some shopping. I lost my host code I have my little piece of paper with a host code on it, but it's here at the top of my facebook.com/sweetstamper page. And I do appreciate you shopping with me. It helps me ever so much. And so yeah, make sure that you are thinking about $50 orders before the end of the month. And one of the things I showed you today is halfway there, and that is our awesome paper trimmer. It's a $25 item. You could even get one for yourself and one for a friend. Phenomenal gift. And it's only $25. So, and then if you get 2 of them, you get a free celebration item, or you could do that $25 and this is $17. So then you are at $25, $35, $42. So then add a pack of cardstock, a little something else, and you're there, and then you can get a free celebration item. So that is it for today, and I will love you and leave you. It is tea time for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I will see you here again Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so very much for joining me. Take care, and God bless.